This is a U.S.-China Media Brief produced by the UCLA Asian American Studies Center. The U.S.-China Media Brief features interviews with experts and other prominent individuals involved in studying and documenting the dynamic and ever-evolving relationship between the United States of America and the People's Republic of China. I'm Russell Leong, Director of the U.S.-China Media Brief of the UCLA Asian American Studies Center. Our purpose is to provide a more balanced view of U.S.-China relations for the U.S. media through our media brief and website.
And you don't want to go home, you'll drown. I'd like to once again thank the UCLA Asian American Studies Center for putting on this forum. I think I went back for the first time in about 25 years to Campbell Hall, the place where I used to have Kentucky Fried Chicken dinners like about 3 o'clock in the morning and have these great conversations. But let's give them a round of applause. They have really come such a long way. And what was so and also all of the sponsors, the Chinese Historical Society, CAUSE, the Chinese American Museum, Chinese American Citizens Alliance, Organization of Chinese Americans, UCLA Asian Civic American Alumni, U.S.-China Media Brief at UCLA. So many groups that have been spawned since then. I want to just, what we're going to do is we're going to have a great panel discussion. I think there's 3 people, aren't there? Dr. Yu? Okay. While they're getting ready, I wanted to just thank a couple of elected officials for being here today. First of all, Lily Cheng, who really started out when I was moving here. We were moving here, and has done such a great role model and a pioneer. Lily Cheng, would you stand? Lily Cheng, the first Chinese American city councilwoman here and mayor of the city of Monterey Park. And then, of course, following in her footsteps in a great tradition, Mr. David Lau, who's the past mayor and city council member, and the city council serving, I believe, his 3rd term, right? Just quite a record. Thank you so much. I also saw Peter Yao from the city of Claremont. Thank you, Peter. Bob Jin from the Alhambra School Board, the president. And I saw we had a judge here today. Is Diane Tan still here? Diane, thank you for joining us. And it just is something that would not have occurred 20 or 30 years ago. So I want to ask a question. Are there any other elected officials that we didn't recognize today? I know a lot of you are commissioners and have done great things. Does anyone know why we picked today to have this wonderful event? Anybody know? Just because it's raining. That's absolutely correct. In other words, how do you start a rainbow coalition without rain? Or as somebody else said to me earlier, didn't a lot of Asians arrive on a boat, so therefore we're used to water? And aren't Asian Americans used to overcoming great challenges? And once we, it was so hard to get here. Once we got here, didn't they call us the Great Yellow Tide? So I like the metaphor here. So anyway, I wanted to also thank an incredible individual who had a vision that this day would occur many years ago. And this individual I've known for almost 35 years. He's quite humble, very soft-spoken, but cares passionately, and is the reason why we're having the event today. And because of Gilbert Ham's vision, we're having it this month. And do you know why December is such an important month to most of you? Anybody know what happened on December 17th? December 17th is actually, and the reason why we're having this in the month of December is because December 17th, what was the date of the Magnuson Act? 1943. I was only off by 100 years. But, in 1943, Gilbert, is that right? After 61 years of the Chinese Exclusion Act, in which, for the first and only time in the history of the United States, this nation chose to pick one ethnic group which could not immigrate. And I know many of your relatives and your friends will tell you of a time when your grandparents could not leave if they were here, particularly the men. And during that entire 60 years could not immigrate. And they couldn't visit their family members because if they left, they couldn't come back. And so I think this is a day of tremendous, tremendous significance. And why are we having this event in Monterey Park? Anyone know why we picked Monterey Park, other than it's waterproof? Anybody know why Monterey Park is so significant? It's interactive. I don't know. I heard many dialects, but I don't understand anything. But you're probably all right. Monterey Park was the first city that became majority Asian as we moved out in the incredible San Gabriel Valley. It started the movement away from Chinatown. I'm not calling this the new Chinatown because I know that's very controversial. So Monterey Park is an incredible place. This is sacred ground. This is a place where in the 60s, well, let me start off. Monterey Park started out as an activist city in the 1915, when originally Monterey Park was going to be a dumping ground for the city of Alhambra, Pasadena, and South Pasadena. They were going to dump all their garbage here. But true to nature, some activists rose up and said, this is going to be our city. And out of the ruins of garbage and trash and used motor oil sprung the city of Monterey Park. And if you don't believe me, Monterey Park will be on the History Channel very soon as a historic city. And Monterey Park started as an activist city because they didn't want to be a dumping ground for South Pasadena, Alhambra, and Pasadena. But Monterey Park experienced a great deal of influx of Asian Americans, particularly Chinese Americans. There was a lot of conflict. And when Judy and I moved here, it was an incredible sight to behold. We would go to a lot of our Anglo friends, we would go to their house and then they would point finger and say, you people, you know, your food smells, we can't read your signs, you cut in front of us at the grocery store and you can't drive. And then I'd go to my Chinese American friend and they'd say, oh, you and Judy, you're too Americanized, you don't speak Chinese, you're not faithful to your Asian roots, what the hell are you doing here? And we thought, wow, this is a wonderful opportunity to build coalitions because both sides hate us equally. But true to form, Monterey Park is really a pace-setting city. And what happens in Monterey Park, a lot of the tension that happened here, as you know, the English-only movement started here. And I can remember, how many of you were here when the English-only movement was here? Right in this auditorium, and you'll find that Monterey Park is one of the few cities, we have about 65,000 people. Monterey Park is one of the very few cities that builds an auditorium, like a stadium, for people to come and participate. And I've often wondered, as I've gone to the 7 cities of my district, where some of them have council chambers that you can fit 50 people. And one day, one city councilman told me, you dummy, Mike, the reason that we built the city council chamber and we never expanded to more than 50 is because we don't like to have 250 people screaming at us when we disagree. But I really believe that Monterey Park did the right thing by having a large chamber here to allow people to participate and to use this as community setting.
The preceding copyrighted program is a property of the University of California, Los Angeles. All rights reserved. It may be used freely for educational and not-for-profit activities. For other uses or to make an inquiry, please contact the Asian American Studies Center at UCLA.